What's up, guys? What is up? Welcome back to another episode of Deck Talk Podcast, and we've got two special guests on tonight. And we, before we get anything going, I want to tell everybody we have two giveaways tonight that Brian is going to be giving away, and we're doing it two different ways. It's all going to be comment driven. The person that comments the most is gonna get one, and then we're gonna have the funniest comment, a comment that will make all of us laugh is gonna be the other one. And then with that, we also want to say if and how you're gonna after the podcast, we'll contact you. We'll get your information. After that, there will be nobody else that's going to reach out to you to kind of get a credit card or anything like that. It is going to be just that easy. You give us the contact, your address. I'm going to send it to Brian, and Brian's going to ship it out, and you will get your package. So it's going to be that simple. No credit cards needed. And but with that being said, let's get this show on the road. What do you think, Pappy?
Let's do it.
All right. You want let's
You want to take care of some business first?
yeah, I can do that. I have been trying to get everything set up, and I had totally put the paper on backwards. So why don't you guys own the night on the water with Firefly marine carbon fiber bow and stern light, telescoping, United States Coast Guard approved, no glare, fewer bugs, crystal clear visibility for safe epic adventures. See it all with Firefly Marine. And go to fireflymarine.com. Use the discount code DECKTALK10 and get you a little discount on top of it. So with that, I'm Colin Burnett.
Nah, Pappy J, and boy, is it good to be back in town tonight. Hey, well, we got a great episode, Colin. I can't wait, man. I'm really excited about these two diving into some things, maybe going down a few rabbit holes. But before we do that, just like every other episode, hey, we got to do our salute to valor. We got to honor our heroes out there, our men and women in uniform. And today's hero is Senior Airman Jeremy Baker. He spent 4 years in the United States Air Force. Man, that's awesome, Jeremy. He was a vehicle operator, a 2T-131. He worked a lot over here in the States because it was due to his job. And hey, it don't matter if you're in state, out of state, overseas, in seas, or whatever. Hey, your job and what you do when you put on that uniform daily matters to us, and we want to thank you for all that you've done and the sacrifices and the PTs that you've done and waking up early and everything like that and spending time away from your family and friends. I mean, hey, nothing goes unseen. I've been there. I've done that. I know exactly what you went through. So we really, really appreciate it because you know what? If it wasn't for men and women like you, we could not do what we do right now. And thank you for keeping our state safe and free. So that being said, you have something on the way. All we need is an address from you. And let me plug this in real quick. If there's anybody out there that has a friend, a best buddy, a parent, a sibling, whatever that has served in the military, please email us at Josh Vaughn at decktalkpodcast.com or Colin Burnett at decktalkpodcast.com. And all we need is your name, rank, years of service, MOS, if you've been overseas or not, if you're currently in. I know a lot of people that if you're still currently in, I mean, I put a lot of that stuff out. But anyhow, we need some good candidates out. Well, we need some candidates. Period. So if you would just email us, you buddies or family or friends or whatever, and let's get them recognized because they deserve it fully.
I appreciate you guys doing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Well, and again, we appreciate because again, like we couldn't do what we do if it was not for y'all, the men and women, and the service, and that's including the men and women that's here that's protecting our streets and first responders and all that as well. Thank you for keeping us safe while we're at home and doing what we love. And so I'm going to introduce a buddy of mine that I have known. I don't know how long I've known Brian. I've known him for a good long day, but and then I'm going to let Brian uh, introduce Jacob. And so, but guys, if you do not know Brian Batka with South.East.Tackle, um, he is probably one of the smartest minds that I have ever seen with making baits and the things that he comes up with.
Hey, Brian, let me interrupt Colin real quick. Now he says the same thing about me. So if that says a lot about you, buddy, we're hurting.
Shoo,
We're hurting.
You're hurting.
Hey, man,
yeah.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Colin. I'm just kidding.
Man, you see what I get, Brian? Every day. It's not the fact that it's just on the podcast. It is every time that we're on the truck throwing cakes. It doesn't matter. This is what I get. But
conclude your what you get.
I'm telling you. But guys, the stuff that he comes up with, and I really didn't know really how much goes into the design of baits and stuff like that before I met Brian, and talking to him about which we'll get into like the his technique worm and all that, to where how much time he went and made to make that, the dyes, how many dyes he had to go through to be able to get it to where it is perfect. But guys, make sure you go check them out. The links are in the description for both Brian and Jacob. But he's one heck of a kayak fisherman as well. I haven't been able to fish with him in a boat, so I don't know anything about a boat fishing. But he's one heck of a kayak fisherman. But guys, go check him out. And Brian, thank you so much, brother, for coming on and doing this with us.
Oh man, thank you, Pappy J, for having us. We're proud to be a part of it.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah. So do you wanna introduce Jacob to everybody?
Yeah. I had this kid a couple of years ago. I think it was about 2 years ago now, asking me if I worked with any of the high school sponsors throughout. He was fishing for charity at the time. After watching his career for a little bit and seeing what a good young man he is, and seeing that he had the pedigree, both his parents are fisher people too. He's been nothing but just awesome ever since. Really appreciate him. He's last year's Governor's Cup champion. He finished third in the boat series. Narrowly missed out getting that championship just by a few ounces, I think, wasn't it, Jacob?
8 ounces. Yeah.
8 ounces, man. I mean, that's a tough way to lose one, but show grace on stage. He's an amazing angler. I see lots of talent. I think everyone's just. But
So
you want to talk about yourself, buddy?
You still with us, Carl? You still with us, Carl?
yeah. I thought Brian was still talking. It was kind of breaking in and out. So I want to tell everybody that we're sorry. Some odd reason we're having technical difficulties, and so, but we're going to manage through. We're going to get it going. We do have Matt Gee asked if said, "Are y'all fishing the next dual threat fishing?" So,
yeah, I'm gonna go give him my credit card right now.
yeah, we already paid the entry fees, right?
Hey,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Hey,
okay.
let's hold off on that one for a minute. Let's talk about
Oh yeah.
Jacob.
Well,
I got
yeah,
friends.
we're gonna hold off on that for a second. We are definitely gonna hit it though. So,
Yeah, let's talk about Jacob and what he's done so far.
yeah, Jacob, where are you heading right now? Because we can hear a little road noise, and you're the only person that is
Now,
in.
yeah, I'm in the truck right now, heading to Seminole for MLF college tournament.
Heck yeah.
I like about 3 hours being there. So it's a little noisy for y'all, but I'm sorry for the
No, you good,
inconvenience.
buddy.
No,
You
you're
good,
good.
buddy.
You're good.
Hey, you go do what you got to do, man.
Tournament red
Now,
dogs.
I
That's
will
right.
say this: Deck Talk podcast has a repetition or tation going on that people that we have had on the podcast that has gone on, and we've had 3 people that has come on the next tournament they have fished, they have won. And then we've had another couple people that has topped it or finished in the top 3. So I mean, it's heavy on your shoulders. I mean, we got to keep this going. So
Oh, I got to keep the reputation going. I hope I can this week.
Yeah, he's already got it
It's gonna be
last week.
fun.
Hey, we got
Huh?
faith in you, buddy. We got faith in you. You're gonna do it. You're gonna pull
Yes,
it
sir.
off.
yeah, for sure.
What'd you say, Brian?
Oh, I said you already got it on you heavy this week. Last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, Brian, have you fished this fishery before, this lake, or is this the
Seminole.
first time? Seminole.
I have not. I think.
I meant Jake. I'm sorry, Brian. I'm sorry. I'll get my
Oh no,
crossed over
I've
here
never
now.
been to this fishery before. I've been to Florida 3 times, I think. Yeah, 3 times. I've been twice to the Kissimmee chain and once the Harris chain. This is my first time going to Seminole.
Heck yeah.
So, or
Which
now, how
Seminole?
are right? So, when you are you going to go straight into hit the lake when you get there, or is this going to be in the morning time when you do a little bit of practicing, or
We're gonna start practice in the morning. It's gonna be dark time we get there. It's already
right?
getting dark now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, have you done your homework and kind of researched the lake and done your due diligence on that but if you have, this is kind of a 2-part question. How did you do that, and how did you break it down so far, if you have?
Uh, a lot of my before turn or pre-tournament practicing, I like to call it, would be
Right.
Google Maps mainly. And I sometimes will get on my graphs, and if I've got contours, I'll go look at them. And I
Right.
also like to watch YouTube videos on where I go. And that's a lot of it. It's like you go on YouTube and you watch like a lot of the guys that fish the Opens, the MLF Pro Circuit, Tackle Warehouse Circuit, that stuff. BFLs, you can go on there and watch those tournaments that those guys fish the same time of year, similar conditions, and you can eliminate a lot of guesswork when you do that.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Now,
Yeah.
do you
Now,
use Google
have
Earth a
you
lot?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Colin.
Do you use Google Earth a lot?
I do use Google Earth a lot in the kayak versus boat tournaments. When I'm in the kayak, I use Google Earth because I can measure distance a lot.
Right.
Like
Now,
because I don't like going a long ways from the ramp when I'm in the kayak. I'm one to stay pretty close to the ramp.
Right.
Yeah.
But now when I'm fishing out of the boat, I just use Google Maps where I can look around. That's quicker to get to than my Google Earth, so I just use it.
Right. That's
Yeah.
true.
Now I got something I wanted to ask, and you don't have to say anything. Are there some spots on there that from like Google Earth or maps or whatever that you found that you're really interested in? And if so, what really kind of piqued your interest? And you don't got to give us a lot of detail on it.
Oh, you're good. This lake has two major rivers, and it's got a couple creeks. One of those creeks specifically is where most of the tournaments are won, and that's where I plan on spending most of my time. There's going to be a lot
Mhm.
of people there, and if you're in Florida and you're around boats, you're usually around fish. It's just whether you can get them to bite or not.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Now, on the collegiate side of things, is it just you in the boat or do you have a partner?
No, I have a partner. He's driving right now.
Now, which one is better, you or your partner? I mean,
I don't know.
Well, I can, hey Jacob, I can tell you right now, if me and Colin's in the boat, he's my net man. I mean,
yeah.
he's
Oh,
100% my net man. So you know
Oh,
where that puts me, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
The the guy I'm
He's in
fishing
the
with this
back of the
tournament,
boat.
I've never fished with him before, so we don't
Oh,
really know.
well, it
Ah,
don't matter. Yeah, that still
find out.
puts you at number one.
It don't matter as long as one of us catches them.
There
that's
you
it.
go. There you go.
So, yeah. We always say one of us is the professional net man. It just depends on the day.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, we'll leave it right there. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll let you take your glory when it's needed.
Yeah. so, uh, so Brian, you do a lot of kayak fishing, and how how important is it to have your kayak properly set up? Or because I know that theoretically you can just go and get a sun dolphin or something like that from academy and be able to go out and be able to and go fishing. But when you're actually trying to go and win tournaments and fish in tournaments, how important is it to have a proper setup on a kayak?
Today's kayak fishing is competitive as major bass boat fishing. You know, the guys that you're your series, they're all going to have all that. So, rigged kayak that allows you to compete at the same level as the others that are out there is a huge advantage. You don't want to throw yourself out there handicapped and expect a great result, but not be able to get there because you can't rely on your equipment. But a
Right,
well rigged kayak, making sure that everything's right the night before and all that. They're not the most stable things in the world. It's not like you can get out and repair them while you're out on the water during the middle of a tournament and
right,
find switches and bad connections like you can in the bass boat.
Mhm.
right.
The bass open up a hatch and look at what you need to fix. And a kayak is a little more
Yeah,
complicated. So your prep work better be dead on when you.
yeah. So now, Jacob, um, you do a lot of kayak fishing as well.
Yeah,
What is the most important thing on your kayak that you have?
my pedal drive. If I didn't have that, I would not be able to fish efficiently. That's my number one. I did have I've got a motor too, but sometimes they don't work, which that's part of it. Such stuff happens, but my
Right.
my pedal drive saves me more than anything. It's hard to paddle a PA-14, and it's hard to paddle
Yeah.
anything over 12 foot. I feel like.
Yeah.
Right.
Really true.
I what'd you say, Brian?
Our kayaks have gotten so big with the demands of carrying batteries and motors. They've gotten so much more heavy. They're basically barges now. You almost need some
Yeah.
kind of other than paddle propulsion to get around with them.
Right. Yeah. Because um, like each year, like we'll go to bunch of different expos and stuff, and it's been interesting to kind of see the evolution of kayaks within like the past 10 years of how they kind of just I mean to where they went from where how they were before. Now I mean I've seen to where I had a buddy of mine that was 6'4", 310 pounds, and he's a kayak fisherman. And I never would have thought that a kayak would be able to hold a big old guy like how he is.
Yeah.
That's
So
specific new canoe. I love it because I can put 500 plus pounds in it. But they don't make
Now,
that platform anymore. So, but a lot of them have gotten a lot more
now,
wider, but they are getting bigger and bigger all the time.
yeah.
now,
Uh,
what kind of rig are you running, Brian, on your yak?
And I have two that I fish. I have a paddle drive. I have a Hobie Compass. And I like it that the pedal drive is really nice. But once that grass really starts coming in, I really like my new canoe because I can float over the grass mats and frog anywhere I want to go frog, and especially in the fall time, it's one of my favorite things to do. So
Mhm.
and Jacob's got me doing a little more flipping and punching now, especially the punching. He gave me some good tips last time we were out. So I like having something without a drive on it at all sometimes, just because I can get over that grass and get in areas that other people just aren't touching.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Me and Brian went
So
to Evansville and punched some up.
Yeah, he did. I sat in the
now,
back of the boat. His dad just hammered.
now, Jacob, do you approach a tournament differently? Besides the fact, like you had said, that you stay close to the boat ramp or closer to the boat ramp with the kayak than you do in a boat. Do you
Yeah.
approach it the same like mindset and everything going from a boat to a kayak?
No. In a kayak, I look for an area that has a lot of versatility. Not like versatility like I can do so many different techniques. Just something that has a lot of different types of cover. Like
Right, right,
this past week in Florida, or well, last 2 weeks ago when I was in Florida, the area I fished had deep water, shallow water, it had shallow grass, it had deep grass, had mats, and it had Kissimmee grass and pads all in one area. And if
Oh,
I
wow.
put in there and I go check all of that, then I can. It's easier for me to pattern fish in whatever
right.
lake I'm at. Like Cherokee, there's rock, brush, deep, shallow. I mean, that's about all you got. And if you can find somewhere that's got all of that, it's easier for you to pattern them in that area and on that lake
Right.
because if
Well, you
in a
narrowed it
kayak,
down to
yeah, if you got an area that has all that and there's one specific thing they're on, then you can figure out areas of the lake that has a lot more of that versus in a boat where you can just run around everywhere. You got to put in where you have a lot of what you're looking for. That's what I'm trying to get to. But practice, I
Now,
like to look for a very versatile area. Has a lot of different types of cover structure.
right,
now,
right.
is there one technique that you don't use, like from boat to yak, or you kind of use everything?
I use everything. I some of the hardest things I feel like in a kayak is throwing a punch and a frog.
Hmm.
But now I do it all. Like I done good at Kissimmee, of course, on a rig, and that's a hard bait to chuck all day. But
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I do whatever it takes. I try to do whatever it takes to get the job done.
Right. Yeah.
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 And that's one thing that we have seen, like with us doing the media work and stuff like that with Bass and MLF, that usually the person that is the can utilize being versatile the best is going to be the person that's going to more than likely going to win the tournament or at least be placing in the top 10 9 times out of 10.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So,
that's one of the
Yeah.
biggest
uh,
impressions of is he's not one technique. anytime I put something new in his hand, it's never more than a day or two before he's sending me pictures back with it. There's not a technique willing to
Yeah.
try or do and come back and be successful with. So
Yeah.
And that's got to make you feel some type of way as well. I mean, knowing that you two are working together and you send him something and he goes out and he produces with it more or less. And I mean, how does that make you feel?
I mean, it's just nice having a teammate that you can rely on that cares about accomplishing something and building something as much as you do.
Right.
Um, today sponsorship has gotten a lot different lately. A lot of people are like, okay, you give me a bunch of baits and I don't do any work, and then you give me more baits, or
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
there's a big
Well,
difference between others that want to go earn it and the ones that just want it.
yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
Yes.
see, the main thing that we tell people when we're talking about sponsorship and stuff like that is when you go and try to go to a company and ask for a sponsorship and stuff, the very first question that company's going to say is, it's not about what we can do as a company for you as an angler, what you as an angler can do for the company. And so,
Yeah.
and that's kind of, and it kind of hits on like what you had just said. Well, Brian, will you sponsor us? But we want baits, and but we're not going to shoot any videos for you, or we're not going to give you any kind of feedback. But we want your baits, though, and
Yeah.
so it's got to be that you have to be able to work on that and be able to have that communication back and forth, and
And it makes for better
it,
product.
it does, it
Yes.
does, it does.
Yes.
When he comes back and Jacob's not scared to not yes man me. He will tell me, hey man, I think this could be better if you did this, or he'll come up with good suggestions that I'll take to heart because they're good suggestions. They come from experience.
Yeah,
Mhm.
A lot of people out there have ideas. There's a lot of people that don't have ideas with experience, and
right.
that experience, man, take a hold of it. I'm one guy, but I'm twice as good when I got somebody like Jacob or somebody like my buddy Robert Burnett or somebody like my buddy Keith Shadwick on the team who, you know, these are all great anglers. I got Joe Kirk on my team too now this year. Um,
Yeah,
when they give me feedback, I know I'm making a better product because of it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, and
it's
that's
kind of corrective criticism. I mean, and if you can take corrective criticism, then I mean, it's going to make everybody better in the end, in the long run.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and then that's sometimes can be hard, but it's gratifying as well. I mean, because if you come up to somebody and somebody says, "Well, I think you should do this or do that," but you kind of had your heart on this, but you change it anyways, it's going to make everybody a whole lot or more successful, should I say?
Well, but when and Jacob, you can kind of chime in on this and Brian, it's a difference in between when somebody says, "Hey, Brian, I think you should do this," and they say that's it. But there's a different feeling and a different meaning to it when like if Jacob was to come to you and say, "Hey, Brian, I think you need to do this. This is what I'm doing, and this is what it's doing," to where it kind of gives you another point to look into it, to where you may not be throwing it on the same line, same weight, hook, or whatever that he's throwing it on. Just some more information that you can get as a bait maker, and can is going to be able to help that out. Is that
Yeah,
am I correct on that?
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
So, but with talking about baits, the very first thing that I have ever thrown uh, from South.East.Tackle was the technique worm, and for the longest time, it had my PB on it for the longest time, and it is one. I how do you? I mean, how it stands up like with I mean, because I've used one all day and been able to to where some of them are just made too soft to where I'm going through baits and some other brands and stuff to where um, and the durability on it for me was phenomenal. I've been able to catch a bunch of fish with them. Um, but what was the thought process? Because it is a little different than your regular Cinco.
Yeah. Basically, I came out with a body design that was asymmetrical. So as you can see, this top section here is actually fatter than the bulge on the bottom section. Sorry, I'm camera retarded. But what that does is that allows you to have a section of the worm that's bigger than another one, which will displace more water. The reason for that is I use a floating plastic rather than a sinking plastic. What that
Right,
allows that bigger end to do is orientate the worm in an upright direction. When
right,
we make the mold, we actually make the machining on the mold so one end comes out square so you can stick your NECA weights in, or so you can put your screw lock in there, for whatever way you're going to rig it, or just so you can have an easy penetration with the tip of the hook. The other thing is that bulge towards the back, when the hook goes through that, will actually hide that hook point and give you a little area to actually bury it in when you text pose that hook. The other thing it is because it's not perfectly asymmetrical or symmetrical. It's asymmetrical, but it's not really that far off of being symmetrical. It wacky
right,
rigs really. And then it's got some girth to it. As you can see, it's a worm with a lot of diameter to it. Um, you know, a 10 of these usually weigh twice as much as a bag of 10 trick worms, just so you know how much plastic is in these. But
right,
what
Right.
that do is you don't always have to put the rubber band around these worms. You can actually rig right through the body. You're going to lose a lot more worms that way because you're going to tear out. But the thing is, especially when you're doing like a wacky rig, you're using a smaller hook than you would use in other techniques. And that allows that bait to clear that hook and make sure that you get the fish. I don't mind sacrificing a worm for bait. And you don't have to feel so bad about it with these products. When I set out to make Southeast Tackle, I was also the vice president of Trout Unlimited. I try to do a lot to take care of our waterways. I was sitting on the state cold water council for TU and all that, and I realized that a lot of the plastics that are out there today are not environmentally friendly at all. Um, I don't
right.
think I don't think there's any product out there that's plastic that's completely environmentally friendly, but I tried to make this one as environmentally as possible by making sure that it had no PFAS, no polyphthalates, no thiolates, no VOCs, which is volatile organic compounds. And the main thing about my plastic isn't what I put in it as plastic wise, it's what I don't have in it.
Right,
It's pure plastisol than what other people are buying. A lot of other people are buying plastisols with a lot of stuff cut into it to buy it cheaper, which
right,
means materials that aren't usually as friendly, more binders, more fillers, things like that. So it's a pure form of plastics, which allows it to have a good elastic feel to it. But then I also have my own proprietary elastomer that I put in it here at the shop. So
yeah,
when my manufacturer makes it for me, I have some additives that I put into it after that. And then it's got a little bit of salt content. It's got a little bit of scent impregnation. It does have scent uh, put on the outside, but also that dries out when it's dry and then reactivates when it's wet. So it doesn't just keep wearing off the worm, and it doesn't stink like crazy when it's sitting in the bag or sitting in your truck. Your truck doesn't end up smelling like an Italian restaurant with all the garlic smell and all that. Have to sit out in the sun, um, wet for it to work.
right.
But the good
Now,
thing about it, as long as it dries out, it's keeping that bait fresh. It'll keep
Yeah.
activating the product that's inside of it and leaching it out.
Yeah.
right. Now, um, we when I I think it's probably what it's been, what, 7 8 years that we've known each other, and you had told me about like how, like, when you go to do the molds, like how many times, like, did the mold actually, like, how many molds did you have to make before you actually finally got it right?
I made 3 molds. Basically, I wanted to make sure I got the neck down on it right, so it got the
Right,
nice bob at both ends, and made sure that I got the center diameter good enough that I get a good hook set every time, but it's thick enough that it'll hold the hook without me having to use other apparatus on it.
Right.
It's not just the mold too; it's the durometer, the plastic. I mean, how soft, how hard does it need to be, and how durable can it be at that hard or soft? It takes a lot of time. Scent package right, it takes a lot of time. I literally take other companies' baits and fish them right next to this bait and don't release my baits until I catch 2-to-1 using my baits as a competitor's bait. I actually tested like Chester Frost here on Chickamauga Lake, which is one of the most pressured areas. If you can catch a fish in Chester Frost in a really pressured area where tournament fish have seen all the tournament tricks, and you can get anybody and catch a fish in that area off of one of your baits, man, you're making a pretty good bait. I mean, those fish are very well educated, very well stressed. To get fish from that area is it makes for a good classroom to learn on what fish really want. So, and then I also run some experiments in my backyard in my home creek. It's gin clear, so I can sit there and put a little bit of scent on one side of the creek and see if the fish migrate that side of the creek or not, or if they're indifferent to it, or if it's an immediate reaction, a slow reaction, and I can kind of find out what they like scent wise too that way. So
right now, because one thing that I really like, and I still have a few left, is when I'm going on Nickajack, and I will throw a just like a little micro jig and stuff like that, or a little bald head, and I will put your oh shoot, what is it, the baller skirt?
Baller rig, yeah.
So
3-inch baller rig. I had set.
All summer long, I fished that baller jig on a micro jig. Catch a lot of good fish on it.
Yes.
Everybody knows, I think nowadays, what a Ned Tech started out west a time ago. Some other people credit that or whatever. Honestly, what it originally was out west is we called them pinch off. We take a piece of plastic worm and we pinch it off to almost nothing and stick it on the hook. And that's basically how you got the Ned rig. We've done a little evolution to it. This would be our Ned baller. As you can see, it's made out of a very soft plastic. Has a lot of movement on its own. Has these two little appendages on the back here that act like they could be like a slug's eye, a fish's tail, depending on your orientation. But as long as you put it on a Ned rig, you'll do pretty good with it. Again, it's got the scent impregnated with it, but it's just that little snack that they like, when they're scared of bigger stuff. It's got your standard front end on it, so it loads nicely with a Ned hook. We make a couple different Ned hooks. We make a custom Midwest finesse, which is your standard straight shank with a hook keeper, and then we also have your extra wide grip Ned head that we make here at the shop that pair along great with this and come along in black and green pumpkin. But you can get those on the web. But
can you tell us a little bit about your your jigs?
Yeah, actually, right here.
So
that's probably that's like probably one of my I don't throw it a lot, but when I do, I love throwing jigs. And the only drawback to my jigs is I always catch everything but a fish. So I tend to lose more jigs but I love throwing them. But when I do catch fish, I mean, I catch fish on them. And especially those the little Ned jigs. I mean, man, I love them things.
Yeah. This one right here is our 3/4 ounce. But one thing that we do with our hooks is we have a specialty victory flipping hook in there, and I don't know if you can see how long that conical point is.
Yeah, that's
there.
long.
Yeah,
the point on that hook is very long. This thing sets like a hypodermic needle and holds on like a gaff. I mean, all I have to do is lean back. This one goes in. We keep the full complement of fiber guards on there, so you can tune it down to your conditions. When I'm fishing wood and stuff like that, up by the powerhouse or whatever here on Chickamauga, and I'm fishing those main channel big logs that they have out there, I leave big guards on there. But once I start fishing around grass and stuff like that, rock structure and stuff like that, I'll start so I can get a little bit better at that. But we make it so it works for you.
Right, right.
Now, let's see. Now, Jacob, you said like on you use that baller rig a lot. What kind of like gear are you using on? What kind of line and rod are you using when you're throwing that?
Oh, he
I
might be
think he
frozen.
froze up. Yeah,
For me, it's usually light spinning tackle. I like anywhere from a medium light to a medium 6 to 7.2.
right.
I don't always have to have fluorocarbon with that. Sometimes I just like some good old 6 pound monofilament. I like having that stretch by getting down those smaller diameters and stuff. Some of these bigger fish, you
Right.
get a little landing them with that stretch of your line. Um,
Yeah.
but
Now
sometimes,
do
in the line, you got to use the fluoro. But I
right.
don't.
Now because I like throwing with the line, I'll throw like a on a spinning rod, like a 7.3, like a medium with a fast tip with 12-pound braid, taking it down to like 8 to 10 pound, either fluorocarbon or again or mono. Um, and it really kind of depends on the structure that I'm fishing it around if I want that stretch in it or not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bigger gold label, if I'm going to run that fluorocarbon, has just a tiny bit of stretch, but I don't
Yeah,
feel so down at 8 pound line that I'm going to snap it off on my braid because my braid's got no stretch and then the fluoro's got no
yeah,
stretch and snap off on the hook
yeah.
set. It's
I have
definitely
done that.
have your drag. you know.
Right. So, I before I do want to keep on talking about some of the y'all's baits and stuff, Brian, but I do want to kind of get to the question. Um, I want
You're
to kind of
dying,
go
ain't
down.
you? You're dying,
Yeah,
ain't you?
I want to go down a rabbit hole about this
I mean, he's
because
over there sweating it.
it's something big that's going on in
It
the
is.
industry right now.
It is.
What is y'all's opinion on the dual threat? Because the concept of it, I thought was phenomenal. I thought it was going to probably just take off, and it's going to be a phenomenal series. What is y'all's opinion on that? And we can kind of get into the issues that's happening as well.
Everybody was into it. Everybody thought this guy could have had a legitimate deal and he ran a scam instead. He could still be in business today. I
Yeah,
mean, people really wanted to do this,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
So,
he's going to run away with a little bit of money. I mean, shoot, legitimized, he could have walked away with a lot of money and legally. So,
yeah. And
you know,
and the thing is, and um, I mean, I thought like, and he was getting big name people to come and fish in it, and I was like, man, with what he's doing, he should be able to get some killer sponsorship money and stuff like that. If he done it right, he could have got TV, like a TV
yeah,
channel to be able. He could have done and had the whole thing like at his fingertips, and then just decides to screw it all up. And which Brian
he's
and
sitting there
I,
with a little bit of money. He could have had a lot. I wonder if he realized he screwed himself at this point in more ways than one.
Well,
oh yeah, one,
he had an awesome format, and that
yeah,
was the thing because Colin and I was even kind of looking at it. We was like, man, hey,
I think
but
it's a format that somebody else is going to cash in on. I think that he
yeah,
time and effort into doing something that he should have done legal, and he shot himself in the foot because I think somebody's going to take his format and go do it legally, and there's not going to be a
it,
damn thing he can do about it because he's a criminal now.
exactly,
yeah, yeah.
yes,
Well, and
exactly.
and I mean, and I hate to see somebody does something stupid like this in the fishing industry. I mean, and it happens. We see it every year. There's always some kind of stuff that's going on that's kind of, no pun intended, that's fishy. And they, I mean, if it,
Oh, I think we
Oh,
lost.
I believe we froze up.
yeah,
They're
there,
dropping like
There he is. There he is. I was fixing to say, doggone, Brian, I think it's just me and you now.
Yeah, finish it up, guys. But I mean, it's every year we're hearing something about people cheating or doing
Mhm.
something like that, or some organization. Because even last year there was an organization that was having issues that wasn't paying, uh,
Yeah, we've got
and
a lot of
so
kayak fishing industry. There's been an organization that's been around a long time. It's very famous people, and it just keeps moving around because legally that's how they're doing it. Yeah,
Yeah.
change our sport. You know, thousands of honorable men and women that just want to go fish and have a good time and have a little
yeah,
competition. And these guys do these things, and then it makes sponsors upset. Well, last guy we gave everything to was a scam, so let's not sponsor anything anymore. And stuff like that.
yeah,
And just
I'm, I'm,
what?
I'm glad you brought that up because that's like, that, man, we could really go down the rabbit hole now.
Yeah,
It makes sponsorship so hard for people like Jacob to get sponsorships. Your local fisherman that's trying to go up, and even as podcasters like me and Colin, I mean, we've seen that it's tough uh, because of the shady stuff that's going on, or
yeah.
or
Well,
and it's not a lot of it. It's those
there's
ones
enough
that
of it.
make
Yeah,
that there. It's those ones that make a significant difference, like this guy here. You know,
yeah.
beautiful format, but the
Somebody's
ending
going
is
to take
just
it. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
somebody
Somebody
will
will,
take it.
There's
Yeah,
too many
and
people
somebody should.
on this,
yeah,
for it not to show back up. It just ain't gonna show up with all the hard work. It's gonna get ripped off.
yeah,
Well, okay, Brian. So just like yourself as a tackle shop, I mean, when something like this happens and somebody comes to you, looking for some kind of sponsorship, I mean, you got to be thinking in the back of your head, and you're like,
Yeah,
is this legit, or
my vetting
you
has
know
to
what I
get.
mean?
It means that I have to look at people even harder. You
yeah,
know,
Right.
unfortunately, it sucks because I got all these new young anglers that are all great anglers that want to come and throw a technique worm, and I want them to throw the technique worm, and I start getting into a bunch of these questions that you have nowadays because of people like that gentleman. And
Mm-hmm.
now these kids are like, well, why are you asking me so many questions?
yeah.
Well, why are you betting me so hard? And it's because we have to nowadays. What you
Yeah,
don't
you're
want to do is
protecting your investment.
Yeah,
because you want them to keep that pump that keeps them successful, that keeps them happy, that keeps them wanting to do it. You know,
exactly.
but unfortunately, it's usually young English first interaction with the ugly side of the business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
Well,
let me
see,
ask
because
Jacob this. Jacob, as a fish, as an angler, how hard has it been for you to gain the trust of your sponsorships, or even to walk in and to ask, hey, I'm willing to do this if a little bit of help.
Yeah, I've asked around before at places like trying to get just a little bit of something like in high school to help with gas and stuff like that. Usually it was always straight no answer. That's
Yeah.
yeah,
usually what it was because people just done them wrong. They just
Hmm.
had a bad experience last time they tried to help somebody. So they just tell me no. But
Yeah.
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 I'm
Well, it's
really a
like that.
blessing being able to communicate with Brian and being able to get sponsored by Brian. It's been great.
Yeah. Well, and that's another thing is that we had seen where sponsorship wise has been like when the tariffs happen and stuff like that, to where a lot of these bait companies almost kind of lost out the whole thing because of the tariffs, because they didn't really know. And from what we have seen, like, well, how much do I order before all this happens and this and that? And now it's kind of settled itself down, and in which I've talked to quite a few of my buddies and stuff that's in the fishing industry, and they had told me that it's going to be like 2 to 3 years before we kind of see it finally settle back
Leveling
down.
out.
And
Yeah.
that was right, but that was about a year and a half ago. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, we had this
but
huge
we
bump in business, and everybody was buying because everybody was fishing. And the problem with that
yeah,
was is that that COVID bump wore itself out or ran its course like it should have, and people were still making their purchasing decisions based off of numbers that weren't sustainable
right,
numbers, a non-sustainable event. And so
Yes.
what you have now
right,
is you don't have tackle shops. You have some tackle shops that are closed, and you have some that are in a little bit of trouble. But what you have is they're just over inventoried. They got way too
Yeah.
much stuff. So they're fine as long as they sell their inventory. But now to get rid of it in a timely manner, they're having to cut the prices on it and stuff like that. But yeah, that's happened a lot, and it makes that money tight for when they want to go do something nice for their community. There's a lot of great
right.
shops like you know we got Jamie Tanksley there. That guy gives wholehearted.
Yeah,
I got no doubt that when he gives something to the community, he's pulling it off of his own dinner table.
yeah.
Oh wow.
And we
What's
got great,
up, Jerry?
you know.
Yeah, well, and that's one thing uh, at FishTales is Jamie's Tankley, who Brian's talking about. I have gone in there and in which, and I've gone to you when we've done benefits and stuff and raffles, and
I love.
so don't cut yourself short on it. I mean, because you go above and beyond as well. For that as well. If you know that it's going to a good cause and stuff like that, that you, I mean, you have donated your fair share of stuff to us as well to be able to raffle off and give as prizes as well.
Speaking of raffling prizes, in case of the ones that
Yeah,
did not hear us in the beginning, the person with the most comments or the funniest comments, you guys will receive, what was it, Colin? It was
it'll be a prize pack
So
from South.East.Tackle. Include a couple bait packs of soft plastics and some hooks and hardware and stuff.
there you go.
Couple
Hey, so
technique
come
tags.
on with the comments. Hey, we done went down some
yeah,
rabbit holes, so come on with them.
yeah. So in which Jerry kind of that Hunter B outdoors. I say that it's probably Jerry. It might be Hunter. Um, is on here. Jerry, we were just talking a little bit about the dual threat, and so what Jerry is your opinion on that? With you kind of being down in that neck of the woods where all the past two tournaments for the dual threat has gone down, and we'll get Jerry's input on it because he'll put his two cents on both of them. So what's up, Jerry and Hunter? Um, but yeah, if you get, kind of go back to the prize pack. We're giving two of them out,
Yes, sir.
and it's for the most comments and for the funniest comment. We're going to be giving out two prize package. So,
I know Colin
but
likes.
oh
Mm,
yeah, Spearpoint.
yeah.
Yeah, you
We
gotta
do
have that.
like some Spearpoint. So,
We have one other brand
but
we really shop, and that's Old Hog Farmer.
oh
So
yeah, and it's a local company to us as well. And so
absolutely out there. So those are brands that we sell here at the shop. You can get your spear points here at the shop. You can get your hog farmer here at the shop. Um, we make great baits. We know we don't make all the great baits in the world, so we try to
yeah,
partner with companies to make the other ones. So.
yeah.
Yeah. There you
Now,
go.
now Jacob, what is your favorite bait to throw from Southeast Tackle?
Technique worm, technique worm, technique worm. Uh, Most
Now,
consistent on catching big bass. Most consistent bait I've ever thrown to catch big bass on. I've caught more 4 to 6 pounders on a technique worm than anything I've ever thrown. and it don't matter where in the country I get pounders.
Now, do you flip that technique worm?
I have.
I do everything with it. I throw it mainly on a Carolina rig more than
Really?
anything. But
See, I
I've done
usually
really
go bigger.
well on an eco. You what?
I usually, when I'm throwing a Carolina rig, I'll usually throw a bigger worm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I like the technique worm. I throw it on that because it floats, and I throw a mono leader and a real light wire hook, so that worm floats up off the bottom.
I got you. Yeah, and say, and that's the legendary worm, isn't it?
Yeah, that's my favorite thing, ledge. I run the hog farmer shaky head with that, or football shaky head, and I just work sit there and I count this thing and I fish. If you go to the Facebook page, I'm sure there's some videos out there where I'm pulling this bait and hooks out of nice sized fish's mouths. This thing just, I mean, is developed here on Chickamauga ledge fishing for ledge fishing. I can catch them
Yeah,
on Gunnersville back in the spawning flats on it, no problem. But I mean, where it really excels is, just counting the rocks on the bottom of those ledges, letting it down that edge, and having them pick it up on that fall. So
Yeah.
yeah.
you can
Yeah.
find a ledge edge where you actually start to lose contact a little bit, and you got fish stacked on it. This one's pretty much a guarantee you can pull something off of it.
Uh, yeah, and one thing that I like throwing them big worms, I like throwing them weightless a lot. And I will, especially when it's matted grass. I definitely love throwing a weightless big worm on a matted grass.
Yeah. One thing I can say,
Jerry
make sure you
Jerry
put
said
that.
he filmed yesterday with a straight 16-inch worm and an 18-inch ribbon uh, tail, but our
He
large
said that.
bass are huge. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, what you also have gotten into some hard baits as well, right?
Yeah, we've been a couple here that we've been fun with. Going to be, of course, our clacking buzz. That's our buzz bait. It's a classic style buzz bait with a more modern type planer head on it. Um, each one is hand tuned here in the shop, so that way you can throw it straight out the bag. There's no buzz bait out there that tune from time to time, especially when you catch 5 pound and bigger fish over them. You're gonna have to tune them. But
Mm-hmm.
this one's got a little thicker wire in it. It helps to keep that tune a little bit longer. Like I said, it's got the clacker on it, so you actually get not just that squealing noise from that busted rivet I put on there, but it also gets that clacking noise. And then another thing I do is I actually put two ball bearings at the top of it. And what that does is instead of getting stuck when I hit the side of the dock, I roll right over it and around it. It helps me
Oh,
get.
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah. Can you show that technique worm
Yeah,
again? Jerry and Hunter are wanting to see it.
yeah, and you can always find it on Facebook too, our Instagram page, or our website www.south-east-tackle.com. But
Yeah.
as you can see, I've
So
got the
on
two bolt Pappy
that
rigs, but it all rigs really well with that skinny tail on it. It took
yeah.
me. I had it on my heart for 3 years to build this worm before I actually did it. And people look at it, oh, it's just a stick, but there's a lot of engineering that actually goes into it. And it was fun to learn it all as I was doing it. Like when I machine my mold, I actually machine my mold so that all my ribs have knife edge to them instead of a rounded edge. That's intentionally to make certain sections of this worm just part off. That way, when you have that hook going through there, it'll part that worm off and you'll get that fish rather than have plastic wad on there and miss that fish.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
It pulls
And
perfectly. There's no tear marks or anything like that. That's an intentional design to get out of this worm. That
yeah.
was
Yeah.
something
Now,
I didn't learn to do that till the second variation.
right. Now on there's something interesting with that legendary worm.
Oh,
Um,
that kite tail you're talking about.
yeah,
So basically, where I came up with that was I was on family vacation and I was whale watching out in Santa Cruz, and I wanted to put together a big worm, and I've been wanting to do it for a while. I sat there and I asked God, like, I need one good idea for this worm. And right at that moment, we're on this cruise with a bunch of other people, and we were whale watching, but this thrasher shark came up and started thrashing on the first schools of mackerel that were coming into Half Moon Bay there.
right.
And he was just tearing it up. You don't really see thresher shark feeding in the middle of daylight on the first bait ball to come into the bay. They're nocturnal creatures. They got huge eyes on them. They don't come up, but
Mm.
at night, this one came out in the middle of the day just to show me that tail. I honestly believe that God told me that that's the way to make the tail, and that's how
Yeah,
this one actually came to be. Its original name was the thresher shark, but I had an intention when I made it to make a good sea rig worm, but also make a good shaky head ledge worm, and that's how it became the legendary worm. But
yeah,
sometimes God will help you, and
uh,
that's
yeah.
God's help right there. So it doesn't really get a great picture.
That's an absolute great design.
Yeah, it's basically, I mean, when it's stretched out and underway, it's about 14 inches long. Sitting in the bag, it's about 11 inches long. Curled up, it's probably only about 8 inches long. But
Mm.
it seems to be that right size for those bigger fish. I got a
Yeah.
lot of guys that have them 100 packs of this worm, and they live down in Florida, and that's all they do is they put it on a hook with no weight. They put it on a heavy wire hook so it gets down because remember it is floating plastic,
Yeah.
but it fall really slow because you got a lot of plastic suspending a very heavy hook, so you get a real slow fall on it, so it stays in the strike zone for a long time,
That's
and
Wow.
that's usually
awesome.
fighting it. But they just drag it behind their boat. They'll sit there and fish a chatterbait out of the front of their boat and cast us out the back of the boat and just leave it. And they're, like I said, I got a couple friends down there that their biggest fish always comes off their trips from the back of the boat on a rod that nobody's touching. That just has one of these and just dragging behind the boat.
Yeah, yeah. Because I can remember a couple years ago that we were talking, and you had said you had told me because we're talking about fishing, and I think that it was right before the spawn and stuff, and like with the technique worm, all you was doing is just casting it out in Chester Frost and just letting it sit. And because you had sent me some pictures or something like that, and you had like a 6 and a 7 pounder, and I was like, "Well, what are you doing?" You're like, "I'm just letting it just sit out there." And so, yeah, uh, so that's one thing that you never take it like to like excuse me, especially like if you just go
Yeah,
out there and just chunk a worm and just let it sit. That you'd be
yeah.
surprised
I
how
have
many
so much set and
that
pregnant.
you can actually do. What, Brian?
I'm sorry, it's cutting in and out real bad. But yeah, I have enough scent in that worm that if you chuck it out there and just leave it, the bass will eventually swim across the scent trail that it's leaving, and they'll come and pick it up just like a catfish does catfish bait.
Right, that's phenomenal.
You
Now,
can literally throw it.
Jacob, have you fished with the legendary worm? I'm sure.
I have, yeah. I've caught. I don't throw it much around me, but I've thrown it on chick a lot and caught some good fish on it.
Now, what is your how is your or let me back up. How is your favorite technique to fish it? Is it Texas rig or weightless or
I
how do
Texas
you like to
rig.
throw
I use a 7/0 hook and I use a 3/8 ounce uh, bullet weight. Just Texas rig, no peg, nothing. Just that's it.
it? Just straight Texas rig. That's good. That's what I like to throw right there.
So, so Jacob, when you said you're going to be there at Seminole here in a couple hours,
Yeah.
how much time do you have to practice, and then when is the tournament starting on Seminole?
We get Wednesday, Thursday practice. Tournament starts Friday, and then we come home Saturday.
Nice.
Oh wow,
One
yeah.
day.
Well, buddy, I
So,
sure do wish you the best. I mean, I hope you get out there and just absolutely tear them up.
I
Um,
appreciate it.
yeah, I mean, hey, good luck to you and your partner. But
yeah,
we really hope that you guys do well.
for
We're gonna try.
sure. Uh, so, what you what do you plan? Like, do you plan on trying to make fishing as a career, or are you just doing this to, or the fishing wise to kind of get through college and stuff like that?
I'd like to make a career out of it, but if it don't work out, that's what a degree's for.
That's it.
You got
That
that.
is it.
So speaking of degree, what is your actual degree?
Wildlife ecology or
Ooh,
biology is what it is.
there you
Yeah.
go. There you go. That's not a bad degree. That's not a
No,
bad
No,
degree. Now, hey, let me, Colin, is it okay if I give a shout out to my boy?
yeah, I guess we'll let
Yeah.
this slide.
I just want to say, I just want to say, my son, he actually signs with Maryville University this coming up Tuesday to play football. He's extremely excited. We're extremely excited, man. I mean, it's been a process to say the least, but Aiden Stone, I'm proud of you, buddy. I mean, I'm so proud of you. You know, for all that you've done, all the hard work that you put in, and it's paying off. And to say that he's actually playing college football next season is an understatement, to say the
Well,
least.
I know one thing that I know I've been excited for him through this whole
Oh yeah,
process of being in the truck and stuff. So,
yeah. You've been
um,
right there with it. You've been right there with it.
yeah. So,
But
congratulations, Aiden. Um, we've had y'all on for over an hour,
Yeah, sorry, my
and
phone ran out of power.
I, I figured something happened.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
let's see. Uh,
Any last
so,
comments?
yeah, well, Michael Bradley, he's from up in New York, if I'm correct. I'm pretty sure that's where he's from. He said, "Does that worm have any buoyancy, or does it sink?"
It does float. It's also part of my floating classic.
well,
Yeah, keeps it in the
Awesome.
strike zone for you.
Yeah. So,
that's why it's so good on the Carolina rig.
yeah. So, but yeah, that's Michael. If you have not seen, check out that technique worm from South.East.Tackle. So, but with that being said, we have one question that we always ask everybody that comes on, and Pappy, you want to ask that question, and then I'm going to kind of go through some of the comments, and I got to kind of. It might take me a second, but
Yeah,
Picking some winners.
and then I'm going to pick out winners.
yeah. So while you're doing that too, I'm gonna kind of delay a little bit of time. Hey guys, if you ever get thirsty, hold on. I'm kind of what'd you say, Brian?
Camera
Camera
retarded.
retarded. Hey, check out the Waze energy drinks, guys. It's phenomenal. I mean, they don't have a product out there that's not good. They support all the men and women in uniform, and that's uniforms across. I mean, that's a broad statement there. That's military, emergency, our police officers. They I mean they do a phenomenal job. Luke and and Justin Ingley and all them. They got some good flavors. It's zero sugar, 200 milligram of caffeine, so it's definitely going to kickstart you fishing morning. Um, I mean, they truly are 100% for our veterans and our men and women, and that keeps us safe every day. But this question right here, that's my plug. This question right here for both of you guys. Whichever one wants to answer it first, that's fine. Um, so if you had one more opportunity to fish with someone that's with us or not, who would it be and why?
For me, I think it'd be Flip Pallet or my uncle. It's a tight race for me. Flip somebody I've never fished with before, and my uncle. It's just he's one of the reasons why I do it.
Right.
I'd like to fish with Gil Dance just to hear the stories.
Yeah, that's another one on my list. See, the list is so good.
Hey, right, yeah. Hey,
Well,
Jake, if you need to go check out one of our episodes, we had Bill Dance on, and he is such a phenomenal guy. I mean,
yeah,
Colin? We asked 3 questions, and
yeah. In an
when we
hour and 20-minute
hour and 20 minutes,
podcast.
we asked 3 questions, and I
Yeah,
mean, but such a humble. He's so humble and so phenomenal. I mean, he truly is an awesome guy. If you ever get the chance to sit down, and I told him I wanted to talk to him about all of his bloopers. I mean, that's just kind of one of the things I want to talk to him about was his bloopers. Because he's got some crazy ones. I mean, if it's
yeah,
going to happen, it's going to happen to him. But he truly is a good guy. He truly is a
I
good
think Bill Dance is
yeah,
where I learned to say "dadgummit" watching him on.
yeah, yeah.
guy.
And I tell you, I would hate to be the ceiling fan that broke all them rods. How many rods do you think he has broke?
A
So
bunch.
yeah, yeah.
A bunch.
So let's see.
That's funny.
Then
I
we
have
got a winner.
a Procraft boat, and it is a Bill Dance.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Um, let's see. Did you see Crystal's comment about the energy?
How
Asking
many
how many
carbs?
carbs.
Yes.
Our way to
So,
way. Where can we get ways at?
So, waysenergy.com. And
so
I want to
you
say,
you
I
got
think it's
10.
10%.
You got 10 calories, 0 total fat gram, 40 milligram of sodium, 3 grams of carbohydrates, 0 sugars, 0 added sugars, protein 0, but then you got 50 milligram of potassium, Niциum. I'm sure I just chopped that one up altogether. That's 32 milligrams. And you got vitamin B6, vitamin B12. Um, I mean, magnesium, you won't know the carbs. It's carbohydrates, 3 grams. I mean, it's such a phenomenal energy, and it's a clean. It's really clean. You
Yeah.
don't have a crash on it. I have not experienced a crash. But matter of fact, the first time that I cracked open a Waze energy drink, I could have got
We
out
were
of the
on our
truck
way to
and
Indiana.
ran. Yeah, I could have got out of the truck and ran beside the truck. I mean, it is great, but and every one of them's the same though. I mean, you I know your body kind of gets immune to stuff like that, but I mean, it's a really good drink. It's a really good
Got
and it's
And,
clean.
10% of the profit goes to uh, a charity that is going to help a veteran or a soldier. Um, is if it's one for PTSD or housing or something like that, 10% of
Mhm.
it goes. So, um,
And we should
but
add on there. They took us on, which we are so grateful. And everything that we do at the end of the year is going to shoot. I just lost. Oh,
A charity.
train of thought. Charity.
Yeah.
To a
For
veterans charity.
PTSD. Yeah.
PTSD. Yeah.
Awesome. That sounds like a company I want to support. So if there's one flavor,
Yeah.
try, what's the flavor?
Well,
my gosh, man.
well, this one here is the pomegranate peach. It's
Yeah.
one of my favorite. Do what?
You had me at pomegranate and peach.
Yeah. And then
I'm a big
they
fan of
have
the
a
lemon
peach.
lime.
That sounds good though, man. That's
Uh,
traditional stuff.
Yeah.
and then they have, if you like the orange creamsicles, they've got one called orange cream that is phenomenal.
That does.
Yeah.
They have a cherry limeade.
Yeah, that's what this is. Cherry
And
limeade.
so, and
And
then they
each
have
one of them represents a different organization. Like you got the lime represents the military. I think the cherry represents firefighters.
yeah.
Is that right?
No,
Colin?
the orange cream is the firefighters. The pomegranate peach is the police, and
the peach.
yeah, and then one of them's EMS.
Yeah.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah,
They're phenomenal.
I'm telling you. But if you need to go to bed anytime soon, do not drink one though.
No.
Do not drink
No.
one. But so with the most comments that I could see right now through has been Hunter Be Outdoors. So Hunter, you will
Message call.
do what?
If Hunter will message you and send you his address, I will send it out to him. The address.
Yep. And then the funniest one was asking if we were fishing the next dual threat, and that was Matt Gee. So
My brother.
That's perfect.
So yeah. But other than that, that's just the kind of that I could go through real quick. But again, guys, we thank you for coming on. Jacob, we hope the best for you this weekend, and go smash some fish right in the mouth. And we got to remember we got a reputation to uphold on the podcast, so we expect high things coming from you.
Hey, matter of fact, can we get Jacob to send us some scores or weights or where he placed on that?
If he doesn't, I will. And
Yeah.
you can also support Jacob by when you make a purchase from my website at www.South-East-Tackle.com. You can also get 10% off your first order by using his discount code, which is Berrydeal. Now it's all capital, so it's BERYDEAL 10. That'll get you 10% off your first order with Southeast Tackle, and that 10% helps support Jacob and his journey into his career. That's something that we like to do for our anglers. We realize that our anglers are not just people that we sponsored, but they are our teammates and part of our company. Partner.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So make sure that anything they have the best chance of success out there.
And we'll splash the links on the site there, right, Colin?
Yeah, we'll have them all in the description.
Okay.
And so I'll have to go back and edit and put his code in for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excuse me.
His case
sensitive. But do what?
It is a case sensitive. When you enter it into the coupon code section, it needs to be all capital.
Okay. All capital.
Sounds good. And Brian,
thank you, buddy.
Coming on. This has been something 4 years that we've been talking about having you come on, and I enjoy picking your brains on things. just because, again, like what I said earlier, I mean, just some of the things that you have come up with is just kind of uh, just floored me with how your mind thinks on trying to make some baits that's going to catch fish. So I enjoy it. But I do, real quick before you get off, can you say something about Boca?
Yeah, we do real custom tuning and cleaning here at the shop. We are a Boca bearing distributor or sell point, and we do install them here at the shop because sometimes you do need a tool to get. If you have the bearing that's on the spool, you need a spool pin puller and all that stuff. But with purchase of Boca bearings, the installation on spool bearings is free. But yeah, we have Boca bearings here. If you are having a hard time because you're fishing the same water everybody else is fishing, you need just a set of Bocas. You're going to cast 15, 20 feet beyond where everybody else is fishing, and those are going to get you the fish that they're not touching. That's just simply
Yeah.
what higher quality bearing means a longer cast. Longer cast means more opportunity to unfish.
I've got
Yeah.
a couple I'm gonna bring to you.
I mean, because, and one thing that I like about them is how they're sealed to where, because I'm not the greatest on
Oh,
taking
we
my
know.
reels, taking my reels to you, and have you. Usually, it's about every 2 years by the time you actually get my reels and start.
Most ceramic out there don't have seals on them. Boca does put a seal on its orange seal ceramic bearing, which allows you to get away with a little less maintenance. Ceramic bearings don't have oil in them, but because a lot of time they are open, like your ZPIs, they're an open bearing. They don't have a seal on them. You're going to get trash in there. Nothing spins better with trash in it. So, having that little, not a completely sealed seal like they put on their salt bearings, which they have salt and everything else, but
Right.
it's good enough through that 2 year non-maintenance period where you haven't trashed the
Yeah,
bearing, with trash in it.
yeah. So, but guys, thank you for coming on, Jacob. Again, we wish you the best this weekend, and go out there and smash them for us. And Brian, thank you again so much.
Thank
Um, ne-
Really appreciate
Next week we're going to kind of have a mixture. We're going to have the gentleman with Primal Outdoors, so we're going to talk about some fishing and then also talk about a little bit of hunting. So Pappy's going to be doing a lot of talking on the hunting aspect of things, and so we're going to have them come on, and then uh, the week after, or the first Tuesday in March, actually, Jerry Brusso is going to be taking Pappy's place because Pappy thinks that he deserves a cruise when he doesn't do any kind of
I'm
work at
going
all.
on a cruise.
And so we are going to have
It ain't no
a
bass boat, baby. It's a big ship.
we're going to have a local guy. Well, I was going to say a local kid. He's I think he's 20 years old, so you can't really say a kid, but a young gentleman. We're going to have Bank Shaw come on
it.
and talk to him. And anybody that fishes around Chickamauga knows Bank Shaw ever since he was about 8 years old. And if you fish any kind of tournaments on Chickamauga, I guarantee you have lost money to Bank Shaw.
Look, I can't
So
go on my Facebook feed without seeing 3 things about Bank Shaw before I get to anybody else. I mean, the guy is just
yeah.
on.
Well, and the thing is I mean, just how knowledgeable he is, and I mean, he's just a phenomenal person to watch, especially on that forward-facing sonar. So,
Mm.
um, says we might have one on tar and feathers, a bad tournament director. Uh, I wonder if he's talking about the dual threat.
I
Uh,
think so. I think so.
I don't know what to
but
call him.
do what, Brian?
I don't think we call him a tournament director. Just call him a con man.
There you
Yeah,
go. There you go.
yeah.
Hey, but Brian, I do got a few reels I'm gonna bring to you, buddy.
Absolutely, man. We'll get you dialed in. We'll take good care of you, buddy.
Oh, I know you
So,
will.
well, guys, thank you for coming on, and I hope that you have a blessed evening and a blessed week. And we will see you out on the water, and go catch some big ones.
Absolutely.
Thank you to the Lord for providing all He's provided for us and camaraderie we all had tonight. And man, I'm a blessed person. It's only because of one person. It's the one. So.
You
Yeah,
got that right.
very, very true, brother. Very true. So, thank you, guys, and we'll
Thank
see you
y'all.
next week.